Hi, welcome on to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that takes a look at players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to the Arsenal. Going to start off with a player today that we are being told is the new Matic, right? And the Arsenal are in the hunt for this guy. Now, let me get my pronunciations right. Here we go. He goes by the name of Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. I hope I pronounced that right. Any Serbian out there, you can correct me. He's a 28-year-old Serbian. He plays for Genk. Defensive midfielder, of course. That's why they're saying he's the new Matic. Recently won the Under-20 World Cup with Serbia, and he's attracting a lot of interest across Europe. Manchester United and Arsenal in particular are supposed to be very interested in him, as well as Lazio, who we're being told have already made a bid of £4 million to Genk. But we're being told that Arsenal are very interested in this guy. Of course, defensive midfielder, easy to link this type of player with Arsenal because we need cover in that defensive midfielder position. For me, I don't know. I'm not sure about this. Young player, of course, really off the radar. All right. He had a great tournament in the under-20s, but then we've got, if we're looking at it in that sort of position and that sort of age, we've already got Bielek, who, of course, we signed in the January window, and of course, is a really, really top prospect in that defensive midfielder position. So why bring in another youngster or someone as young as that in that position? It doesn't quite make sense to me. But of course, because we're in a hunt for a defensive midfielder, we're always going to get linked to a player like this, whether or not it's a real deal sort of transfer link is really open to. I'm not sure. I think a lot of this is to do, as I said, is that his availability and the fact that we're after that type of player. But I think probably a bit too young. We want somebody a little bit older in that position, I think. Otherwise, we'd stick with Bielek, who I'm being told the Arsenal staff have been very impressed with Bielek. And there's even talk of promoting him up to the first team this season. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. Another player that we've been linked with today. Now, this one is, again, another one of these players that at the moment is on the move. It's Arda Turan. Of course, he plays currently for Atletico Madrid, 28 years of age now. Turkish international as well. Excellent player, attacking midfielder, strong though, hard-working. He's really worked well under Diego Simeone in the fact that, as well as attacking and being skillful, he works very, very hard for the team. You have to when you play for Atletico. And we've been told that he a couple of days ago that he's set to announce. This seems to be the new thing amongst players. He's set to announce the team that he's going to sign for. We were being told possibly today. So it could even be today where he announces. But the interesting thing about this one is that there's a lot of rumours been going around in the Spanish press linking him with a move to Arsenal in exchange for Santi Cazorla going the other way to Atletico Madrid. We've heard the Santi Cazorla to Atletico Madrid rumours now for quite a long time. They've been going around for a while, that Cazorla is going back to Atletico Madrid. This is despite Santi Cazorla denying it, the club saying that they're not selling, but still the links persist. And now we're being told that, yeah, it could be a possibility that Arda Turan going to Arsenal with Santi going in the other way. I just, again, can't see that one happening. Arsenal were, a couple of seasons ago, very interested in Arda Turan, really, really wanted to get Turan. They rated him, they liked him. He was definitely on their radar. But he was an Atletico Madrid player. He's been very, very successful. But again, at the age of 28, why would Arsenal go and swap him for Santi? They've already got a player that's there, establishing that position. The fans love him. He's been excellent for the club. Why would you want to change it? I think that's a rumour is an absolute no-go. It sounds good. It sounds great. But no way is that happening. I keep saying that, the club have been quite clear. They're not making any of their sort of real main first team players be sold this season. They've got them all under good contracts. They don't need to sell any of them. They all think, they think that they're all going to be of great use to them. They've got a settled side. A bit like Chelsea last season. Chelsea had an excellent side, and all they needed to do was add a few players, and that's what they did. They added, Fabregas. They added, Drogba. They brought back and added a couple of little players like that. They didn't add much, and they won the title. Diego Costa, of course. So it's Arsenal see themselves at the moment in a similar position. They're not going to get rid of Santi Cazorla. They may, however, look to bring in William Cavaliere. These rumours still going around that Cavaliere, Sporting Lisbon player, who we know had that excellent tournament in the under-21s recently, even though he missed the penalty in the final, lost the game to Sweden. But the rumours regarding him still all over the place today, still being told that Arsenal are willing to bid just under £20 million for him, and that is a possibility that could happen. We have to wait and see what happens with that one. As is this rumour for Baba Rahman, who this one's been circulating as well all week. Plays for Augsburg, only 20. This guy is attracting a lot of interest. He's a left back, of course. We're being told now that Manchester City have entered the race to sign him. Chelsea are very, very interested in him, as are Arsenal. Fee would be about 20 million euros. So, not too bad. You're buying a guy who's 20. He's one of the hottest prospects around. And certainly, all the rumours seem to be pointing towards Arsenal being interested in him. I've said before, can't really understand it because we've got Gibbs, we've got, of course, Monreal. But it could be that Arsenal are looking on this and saying, you know what, this guy's so good, which he must be if you see the sort of teams that are chasing him. This guy's so good, we just get him as a long-term replacement. So we bring him in, maybe loan him out, maybe, you know what I mean? But sometimes when you see a really, really good player out there, you can't pass it up. So it could be that Arsenal are looking at him, maybe not to bring him in immediately, but that they're looking at him. Player, though, that looks like he's definitely on his way out. Well, we know he's on his way out to Galatasaray. That's Lukas Podolski. It was very interesting to read what his agent was saying to Bild, the newspaper over there in Germany. He said that Arsene Wenger apparently was, some papers have interpreted it as Arsene Wenger pleaded with him to stay. I don't think, I really very much doubt that. But the quote from his agent is that Arsene Wenger said he wanted to keep Lukas, but couldn't guarantee him that he will be a starter at Arsenal. So that is why he's decided to move on to Galatasaray. And we should see that deal getting done over the next, few days or so. But he was never going to be a starter at Arsenal. I think Arsene Wenger likes Lukas Podolski. I think Lukas Podolski is one of those excellent guys to have around the change room. Of course, he's got talent, but it just hasn't worked out for him at Arsenal. And I'm sure every Arsenal fan's going to wish him all the best as he moves on to Galatasaray. And finally, another player that's it's been officially announced that he's gone out on loan this time, though, and he's Ainsley Maitland-Niles, good prospect there from the Arsenal youth setup. Maitland-Niles, he's officially now joined Ipswich on a season-long loan. The good thing about this loan, and the thing is about this, why it looks like Arsenal definitely consider this guy to be a very good prospect, is the fact that the loan says, part of the loan says that Arsenal can actually bring Maitland-Niles back. So they can bring him back, they can recall him, mid-season or whenever if they need to bring Maitland-Niles back. So that shows, number one, that they hold him in high regard. Number two is probably a lot to do with the Coquelin factor, where they brought back Coquelin and he was an absolute revelation. So they've probably looking to insert that now into a lot of players' deals when they loan them out. But Maitland-Niles, good luck to him. Signed a season-long loan. Well, sorry, a loan for the season with Ipswich. Let me interpret it right, but he can be recalled if Arsenal want him to. And Ipswich, make sure you look after Maitland-Niles, because if you don't look after Maitland-Niles, his mum, who we know about those stories of how she attacked some Arsenal officials when she wasn't too happy with how her son was being treated. His mum will be on the case, so you make sure you play him, because Maitland-Niles' mum is a serious contender, trust me. Right, listen, let's get into what you guys have had to say about the current rumours that are going around. Rise NG10 says, Cavaliere would be a huge mistake, he said. He's not tested in the big leagues. He hasn't proven he is a complete world-class player. We already have some sort of 25 and under DM players like it with Coquelin, so he's not convinced that the Cavaliere will be a good signing. Shamim Hussein says, why not get Harry Kane? Listen, there'd be a whole riot down there at White Hart Lane if we ever move for Harry Kane. I mean, and funny enough, you know what? I think it's the anniversary today of us signing Sol Campbell. So I don't think that any Tottenham manager would make something like that happen again if they want to keep their life down at White Hart Lane. FLK Kojo 595 says Emiliano Martinez is also a goalkeeper on the first team roster. What about his future plans? We were being told that he could get sold, Emiliano Martinez, but at the moment, still a bit unclear about the positions of all the goalkeepers now that Petr Cech has come in. I think it's quite obvious that Ospina's going to be going. Could be that they hang on to Martinez, because you do, of course, need free keepers. This one comes from Jean-Pierre. He says, hi, Robbie, I'm from Peru, and let me tell you that I'm really a fan of your videos. Thank you very much. He said, I remember sometimes that you say that signing Lacazette is risky. But he says, let me tell you some examples of risky players that have gone on to make good signings, right? And he breaks it down like this. Very good, this. He says, Luis Suarez from Ajax to Liverpool. He had 3 good seasons in the Dutch league. He said Karim Benzema from Lyon to Real Madrid, had 3 good seasons in La Liga 1 France. Radamel Falcao from Porto to Atletico Madrid. He had 3 good seasons in the Portuguese league. He says, in this business, to sign and spend a lot of money, you can risk your money. But first, of course, you need to think that the player can fit your team. And then he goes on to say, Lacazette has had 2 good seasons. And he said in 2013-14, he scored 20 goals. And in 2014-15, 37 goals, which is excellent progress. And he thinks we should definitely, that's, you know, proof enough that it's definitely worth signing somebody like Lacazette. And, you know, I take the point what you're saying. It would be a risk because he's not yet world-class. But I take his point what he's saying. Luis Suarez wasn't world-class when Liverpool signed him. He was on the way to being world-class is what he's saying. Same with Falcao, was on his way to being world-class. So Benzema. So that's a great point that he makes there. And I, for one, wouldn't be unhappy if we signed a player like Lacazette. I think it would be a sort of signing that would get all Arsenal fans really, really excited. TH3HINI1 Gaming says, I don't understand why Arsenal aren't pushing to sign Arturo Vidal. He's a world-class midfielder and he would make us into a great club. And last one here I'll go for, he says, Akmal says, Kabay and a world-class centre-forward. And we're set. Kabay, of course, we've been told that could be on the move to Crystal Palace. The only thing with Kabay, again, 29 years of age, talking to Ivan Gazidis a few weeks ago, he was stressing the importance of buying a player that you're not just buying him as a quick fix. You're buying a player that even next season, the season after, he's going to be able to do a job for you. That's why I very much doubt that they'd move in for a player like Yohan Kabay. Thanks for watching Arsenal Transfer Daily today. AFTV Transfer Daily will be back tomorrow around about the same times. Don't forget to leave your comments below. I'm really interested to know the sort of players that you think we need here at Arsenal. After we've bought in Cech now, things have kind of slowed. Well, for us, it's slowed down, but they're probably working behind the scenes looking at targets. I really like what that guy from Peru said. And after reading that, I'm really even more thinking to myself, that player Lacazette, why not go for it, Arsenal? That would be another amazing signing. Bit like, you know, what happened with Diego Costa going to Chelsea last season. That could be a similar type of moment for us if we went out there and bought in Lacazette.